changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more, no more complaining. People, their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more, no more.
In today's Jumpstart, I want to talk about me. And I realize by that in pretty much all of the Jumpstarts, I'm talking about me. It's stuff I'm figuring out. I'm trying to figure out how to do life better, gentler, easier, wealthier, happier, healthier, and to do it without great extremes. And the best way I find to do that is to become more aware of yourself, because you've got to know where you are in life, and then you've got to know where you want to go. Okay? Rock Thomas, in his interview with me, told me that in his weekend seminars that people sometimes pay $10,000 or $15,000, they will spend 3 days just literally figuring out exactly, to the T, where they want to go in life. To the T. Having that vision of where it is you want to go is what drives us forward. And my goal is to always try and figure things out, test them out, and be at least 5 to 10 steps ahead of some of you, if not all of you, so that I can share with you. Although I get so much from your comments, it's amazing. I realized something the other day. I have been journaling actively since I was in my mid-20s. I have put pen to paper and written literally tens of thousands of pages, I'm sure. And it wasn't until last year that I realized that there was a word that was repeating in my journals. And I realized that it was mostly connected to negative feelings, sadness, anger, whatever. We all have these feelings, fear. And the word it's simple 2-letter word, S-O, so, which I also realize I tend to use instead of using or when I speak, I go so or and. Those are my fillers. The word so, though, I even looked it up because I told you this is kind of nerd I am. I realized I was using this so much when I described, there's the word right there, that I was using this regularly. And I decided to take a look at this and to look up the word. And the word so has many things. And it's a filler, but it's also an amplifier. It means vary. Now, I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Here's the thing. Right now, we are in arguably the most difficult time in the last 100 years as a world because of the pandemic. And people are more triggered today. They're complaining more today. They're more upset today, which is in many ways understandable. And the way we describe our experience to ourselves defines our experience. Wow, that should be on a bumper sticker. The way we describe our experience to ourselves is the experience we have, or the experience we get to live. And when we amplify, I noticed that I wasn't using so, I am so excited. I just say, I am excited. And I realized that I was using this amplifier when I talked about negative things. I want to make you aware of using terms like so, very, etc., etc., etc. We have become a world of superlatives, and I've tried to figure out why. I've tried to figure out why we have become this world of superlatives. And the reason that I've come to, or the explanation that I've come to, is that we all carry a little broadcast studio in our pocket, and we all want to be noticed and recognized. Getting attention is one of our basic human things. Now, who gets attention? The people who have it the best and the people who have it the worst. Notice those are extreme words. People who are good, not so much. So we tend to contextualize our experience as had the greatest day ever in Key West. Okay. You get what I'm saying. We make superlatives. Things are no longer good. Have you noticed that movies are no longer good? Have you seen any good movies lately? It should be. Have you seen any awesome movies lately? My friend Brian pointed this out to me. He said, "You see two types of movies." And I said, "What?" He said, "Awesome and terrible." And I realized that it messes up the whole scale when we're there, when our commentary has to be extremes. But when we are living extremes, we feel that gets us more attention, which is one of the basic human needs. Notice me, notice me, notice me. I chose a song for the day. I already chose it, and it's deliberately ironic, and I want you to listen to it. It's from the Lego movie, and it's called Everything is Awesome. Everything is awesome. We are more connected today than we ever have been, but we are less happy than we ever have been. We are more connected this way and far less connected this way, far less, because this buzzes us and stimulates us so much that when we are just one-on-one with someone else, life can seem kind of boring. And yet that's where happiness is. That's where joy is. That's where the moment is. That's where the only slice of life you're ever going to get is. Earl Nightingale, and I was so tempted to say the great Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale once said that superlatives are diminutives. Superlatives are diminutives. I want you to think of two different people. I want you to think of Matthew McConaughey, the king of cool. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. And then I want you to think of George Costanza. All right. Now, who, in your opinion, uses the most superlatives? This is the worst, or this is the greatest. All right. George Costanza, you already can tell by how I'm showing you, or Matthew McConaughey. You know, hey, that's pretty good, man. Hey, I can dig it. We live a happier, healthier life, believe it or not. We think we want the extreme, always the extreme good. The thing is, the joy, the happiness, the goodness in life that we want to reap comes in the middle, without the trauma and the drama, without being the best and the worst. When something happens, it's just happening. I shared with you the story, and then I'll get off of this, but I was driving to the airport a couple of weeks ago, and I stopped at Starbucks, and I bought a venti coffee, black coffee. I don't know what sort of caffeinated high I was going for, but I got it. And anyway, I went to pick it up, and here's my mug. But I picked it up exactly like this, which meant basically by the lid, well, the sides caved a little bit. It dropped. It was really hot coffee. I'm driving, bounced off my thigh and exploded. I mean, it was on the dashboard. It was on the windshield. I realized it's still on the passenger door. I've got to go clean it off. Now, before I got into becoming aware of how often I complained and realizing that a life of drama is not a happy life, that I would have called 10 people and told them, "Can you believe this? This is the worst possible thing." Blah, 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 blah. And my goal in that moment was to make it the least possible thing. to make it the least possible thing. First question always when something traumatic happens, is anyone hurt? Does anything need to be done to make things more safe? I realized I was okay, and all I wanted to do was get off the interstate, find a parking lot, and that's what I did. And luckily, I was on my way to the airport, so I had extra clothes. In other words, it wasn't a big deal. I could have made it one, but I chose to make it less. So consider that today. When something pops up, how low can you go? How can you not make it a big deal? And when you relate it to someone else, share the facts, but avoid things like so or very or can you believe it? Those are always the words of a victim. And you're not a victim. You're a victor.
No more complaining people. Their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more complaining people. Their lives are changing.